Now it should be okay. So technically it is live now. Here we go. Yo, what's up? Check it out, it's your boy DJL7. And as you know, I have all kinds of guests on my channel. Tonight I have a special guest on, a friend of mine. I know some people give him a rough time, but that's my homie. You're hating on him, you're hating on me. This is my man Trotsky, a bust, you know what I mean? Now, I usually let them introduce himself, but he's been on my program several times. But I want to tell you that this guy is also a former IDF, Israeli Defense. And the thing is that a lot of people, there's going to be some, the Kanye situation brings up a lot of stuff going on. But the fact of the matter is that as being a Korean American, I see how much the news gets wrong about my country. So I don't trust anything that they say. This guy is a primary source what happened in Israel or Palestine, whatever you want to call it. And right, I understand that you don't like the
Israel.
term Palestine, but in that area, right? And he's brought up some decent points, right? I didn't agree with everything he said, but he talked about the displacement of Jewish people from Arab countries, stuff like that. And that was a fair, right? You're actually Iranian originally, right? But you were
No,
forced
no.
out of.
Well, actually, it's funny because I did the genetic thing. I'm 7% Iranian, but my mother grew up in Iraq, not Iraq. It's Iraq. Means the vein. So she was 19 when she left. She immigrated to Israel. My grandfather and the rest of the family they stayed behind a bit. My grandfather had a successful merchant in Iraq. He lost everything. All the Jews, almost all the Jews who lived in Arab countries, that's about 800 to a million, they lost everything and they became refugees. Most ended up in Israel.
So for all the people that are critical of my man Trotsky Bus, remember that he's actually seen people. He's been in the primary source. He's been on the ground in, other countries, right? Yeah, including not just he has some ties to also Iran as well. And the thing is that maybe he's, when he was holding a gun in his hand and sent out to the front line, maybe he was thinking, why am I here? Maybe you thought about for 5, 10 minutes when you were watching the show on TV. He's probably thought about it a lot longer and deeper. Now, it's part of his identity. Also, he may have seen dead Jewish bodies. You know what I mean? That you probably never saw. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that, he's seen and been through more. And you know what? I think that his voice and his perspective needs to be respected. Either way, whether you agree with him or not, he's a primary source. You need to respect that straight up. So I just want to get that in there.
And if you don't, I'll be more than happy. I could come on the show and debate me. Everybody, everybody disses me, but no one has the guts to debate me though.
Hey man, whatever man. I remember that guy Marcus Cage did, but we don't see him no more. Yeah, it is
he,
what it
he
is.
did debate me, and I give him props for that, but he did cut me off at the end. So to me that was a good thing because it meant that he lost the debate. But I'll be more than happy to debate anyone, including him.
Okay, so today I brought you on the program really to bring in that Jewish perspective,
Okay.
I guess. And the thing is that this Kanye thing going on, he said a lot of blatant stuff. Um, so what's your perspective on that whole thing, right? He said some wild shit.
Okay. First, just because someone is successful at something doesn't mean they're smart at everything. Unfortunately, they think they are because people like that, Kanye or any successful person, they're surrounded by a million people telling them how great they are, and they're the smartest person ever, and they're always right and they're never wrong. And Kanye is an idiot. He shouldn't be talking about this as is Ice Cube. They're just they're making and I feel bad because let's be honest here, like if a white person says something stupid, then that white person is responsible. If a black person says something stupid, then all black people, or a Jewish person, like when Michael Richards made that stupid thing, or as a minority, for some reason, we're tagged with the stupidity of other minorities, and it's not fair. White people are not.
I want
White
to
people,
jump in. I want to jump in there for a second and actually provide some backup. Larry Sharp, who ran for governor of New York State, has said, right, and he's a black man himself, has said that when he sees a violent situation where a black person is going to be victimized, right, that the white people all look to him to solve the situation because they don't want to get involved. They want a black guy to solve the problem. So,
sure.
and there's actually several people who said that there is this phenomenon where where white people are afraid to get involved when a black person says something because they don't want to be seen as racist, and that is
Yeah.
a phenomenon. So I just want to point out that I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to say that
No, no.
I know some people might have a problem with it, but I'm not saying that that the other side that the critics of it have no ground to stand on. But there are also black people saying the same thing, and it makes some sense to me too, for real. So I
Yeah.
just want to provide backup. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, anti-Semitism in the black community is higher than it is in the general public. To be, and no one's had the guts to address that. No, none of these black leaders who they criticize Kanye, but they've never addressed that. But what I liked about Kanye, what he said the quiet part out loud. Kanye used the J word. When I say J word, I don't mean Jew. I mean jealousy. Okay, that's what this is all about. That's what anti-Semitism is from A to Z, right? People are just jealous, and I understand that if I was a black person, I see, that minority's always down and down and down, and you see another minority that's also been fucked over like yours, but they're way up there. You're going to be fucking jealous. I understand that, and unfortunately, Asian Americans are beginning to see that too. It's a lot of jealousy of them too, that they're a minority, but they're growing up.
We have
So
strange, yeah, we have the Jews and the Asian Americans. We have some similarities that are.
mm,
You're absolutely right. There is this phenomenon that happens where there's anti-Asian American sentiment in the black community as well. That's real, and
yeah,
had not been addressed until it was used as a weapon to attack Trump.
yeah,
F y'all fake as hell. Y'all never gave a shit about it. It's only a tool to attack Trump. Stop it. I'm
yeah.
so sorry, but I'll back you up on that. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's just jealousy. He did say the quiet part out loud. That's all this is. And that's why I'm glad he said it. But I don't have a solution. It's not my solution to it's his solution. I mean, he's a successful black man. He should bring up other black people. Now, if he wants to like Trump, I'm not going to put him down for that. But you know, I don't know. The guy just seems too unhinged. That I don't know.
I think that's a pretty fair take. So I
Yeah.
have actually because I do also work a lot with the black community. I work with a lot of Asian Americans. I also feel like I've actually made a recent videos and accusations saying that the Asian American activism is being redirected towards funding Israeli state interests. But that's
Oh yeah, I saw the title. I wanted to
yeah.
watch it, but I didn't have time. Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, but
Right.
that's we'll get to that in a moment. But
Right.
being close to these communities, I do know some of the critiques, so I want to actually go over them with you, and
Okay.
maybe like and I thought you had some pretty good takes, and I haven't agreed with everything this guy says. Don't think I'm blowing this guy behind the scenes, but um, but the fact of the matter is that right, not everything he says is trash, and I really once again deeply appreciate his perspective, being Jewish, being in the IDF, being from Iran, coming to the United States,
Oh,
being from
not
the
Iran.
Republican
I've never
Party.
been to Iran.
Yeah.
My
Oh, you never been
mother's
there?
from
But
Iraq.
having that perspective of, being of the people that's been displaced, right? People that are
Yeah.
forced out of their home. Being a Korean American who's forced to be in America, being an
Yeah.
outsider in your land. There's always, even maybe you're ethnically Jewish, but you always felt like that outsider a little bit. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. Of course.
So, okay. So the thing is that it was interesting that you said that it's jealousy. That's actually a good, right? Actually thinking about it, yeah, Kanye is a jealous type, isn't he?
He said it. He
He
did
totally
use
is.
that
Oh, he
word.
did. I haven't really watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did use that word, and he's right. He did use it.
Okay, but okay, so the thing is that if Jewish people are actually so prominent, right, financially and like in the entertainment sector and stuff like that, right, then are, are they, people say, how easy to discriminate against them? It's not.
It's
Is
easy
it?
to.
Now, right,
Well,
there's
it's
some
easy to
hatred of the people who are
discriminate.
most powerful, but they have so much power. I'm not saying that, because they have power, they're not discriminated against at all, right? But really, in the end, if they really have the power, the people who are trying to discriminate against them will have trouble actually being
No, no,
successful. Okay, go
because
ahead.
you use Jews as a monolith. That's like saying Asians are monolith.
Ah,
See,
okay,
you're
good
an
point.
Asian doesn't mean you're not a millionaire, are you?
We're gonna get to some of those points too. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
there's a
poor
lot
Jewish
of
people too.
Jews.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Asian. A lot of Asians are struggling. Some of them just came and made. Not all of them are rich, right? Yet they still have to deal with that shit, and that's when you're Jewish and you don't have. Unless you don't, you have to get rich. Otherwise, because they fuck you, and they do, and they hate you, right? And everybody hates you. Other minorities hate you, right? And it's people don't realize. And Kanye, that to me, he's trying to act like, oh, he's a black person, or Ice Cube, he's a black. No, no, you're a rich person now. I don't care what you were. Right now, you're a rich person, and you have responsibility. And if Kanye is attacking me, that's not a black person attacking up on a Jew. That's a black person kicking down. So fuck Kanye, but he's crazy anyway. So you know, it, look, here's the thing: the media is always going to focus on race or religion and shit like that. The reason is the people who own the media, the billionaires who own all this country, and even Kanye, they would rather have a race war than a class war. You see, because a race war, we're fighting one another. A class war, we're fighting them. And if that happens, they're finished. So you're always going to see like Black Lives Matter and all that shit in the media. It's so we're on each other's throat, and that's something I wanted to get to. But we'll get to that one.
Can I actually wait? Can I actually share with you like a personal situation that I went through?
Sure.
Okay. And this is actually, I have like actually one of the most generous stories that I ever have is about Jewish people. Obviously, I'm leading saying that because it's gonna be a negative story right here. Sorry to say it.
Right. Sure.
So the fact of the matter is that I was the only Asian American organizer in the Medicare for All March, like in the nation, which was fucking cool, right?
Right.
Whatever. Now the thing is that I actually, right, they were gonna have the march here in New York City. They were gonna have a New York City march, and I actually booked a guy called you ever heard of something called the Sugar Hill Gang? The hip hop, a hip to the hip to the
I'm
hip
not.
hip
I'm
hop and
not.
get
Oh,
no.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I heard
yeah,
the song. Yeah.
Rapper's Delight, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
famous song. Okay,
Yeah.
so the thing is, that's like one of the old school original rap
Yeah. Yeah.
labels, and a guy on
Sure.
the label called Wayne and Charlie, right, was actually scheduled to perform at that event by my invite. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Now the thing is that because the Hollywood connection, which unfortunately, right, yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of. I'm not gonna say that the honestly, I like Jews overall. Yeah, like
Okay.
I've hung out with them on a regular basis. Asian Americans and Jews end up hanging out a lot in those schools and shit because we're always in the same classes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or you do you know what I'm talking about? Did you grow up in the
Advanced
States?
math. Okay. Sure.
We
Okay.
end up at the same schools and shit. Come on, you know what I mean? Right? We're in the nerd clubs together playing chess and
Yeah.
shit. Come on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So the fact of the matter is that there's a guy named Awkward out here. You know what I mean? And he's connected to Hollywood out there on the West Coast. And in order to bring the celebrities into the event, right? Yeah, they bumped me and Wayne and Charlie from the event so they could
Right.
put on Awkward, their
Okay.
guy. And by the way, Awkward's a Jewish rapper.
Okay.
Now that felt fucked up to me, right? The guy's there from the original day of rap. He was there when Spoonie G relayed the first rap thing. And
Right.
me, I mean, I'm special too. I've done a lot of work and I'm
Right.
getting bounced and this guy's getting bounced so they can I'm not saying that's Awkward's fault. And I'm not right. I'm not saying he asked for that, but the Hollywood people, right? Yeah. They and some of them connect people in New York, right? Yeah. And you're right, it's not all the Jews, but the Jews who are in charge make these decisions and they put their people on and they bump you off. And
Right.
like I'm not saying it was all Jews. You're right, absolutely right. Yeah, like most Jews I know would say that's fucked up. But
Right.
the ones in charge did that shit, and it feels fucked
Okay.
up.
So the one. Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry, go
get
ahead.
mad at the ones in charge. Don't get mad at Jews. You know, I had nothing to do with it.
But then they put their own people on.
Not necessarily their own people. Maybe just I don't know.
Medea
I don't
Benjamin,
know.
it's happening too. Yeah. Look, it's not
What?
your fault. It's just the ones here. Then you know what I mean. Like, look, I know it's not all Jews in general, but that does lead to some issues. Another okay, so that's just my personal story, but here's
Yeah.
actually so here's a criticism. I think Kanye may have talked about it, right? The thing is that he says that a lot of Jewish people own the rap music labels, but they don't really. Now the thing is that actually, if you look at Beastie Boys, right, they're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can't say Jewish people were not involved in rap. They were involved from its very inception. They were around it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
respect to them and their contributions. And by the way, Koch Music put a lot of stuff, but they also say that these people are not really participating or featured in the same negative behaviors, or they almost feel like they're being encouraged and feel like they're being treated as thrown into like an irresponsible marketplace that cheapens their lives. And you know what? Maybe they're buying the albums too, right? But they feel like somehow Jewish people are profiting off of their pain. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well,
That's a criticism.
okay. First, I'm gonna have to push back here. When I'm not saying. Look, first of all, this is America, so even the poor people are not poor. Okay, so I don't want to hear this shit about pain in
Fair.
America.
It's fair.
Okay, so I don't know. It's not something I
Some poor
don't.
people.
What's that?
Some poor people are living real poor. Some poor people are not. You're right. Yeah, there's different
Yeah, the real
levels
poor
of
people
poorness.
live in other countries, but I'm not.
The
Okay, so
disabled that can't afford that the nurses aren't taking care of them and neglecting them and shit, not feeding them. I
well,
mean,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Look, I'm sorry, that's an extreme case, but that does exist out here. Children
It
getting
does,
abused by
but
their
you know,
parents.
but for the most part,
Yeah,
America's not a poor country.
I get what you're saying. There's a lot more food available on the street for dumpster and I live like that, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, but not in the country. Yeah,
yeah.
I was homeless in the country. That shit was tough.
All
It
right.
was tough.
But still, I don't know. I don't know this industry. I'm not part of it, so I don't know. But just to generalize that, there are Jews there, so you're going to notice them because that's what they did. I mean, Jews and blacks and uh, gypsies, Rwand people. They were, they got into the entertainment business. So to me, it's a shitty business from head to toe. It's like you see all these people in Hollywood and they all like act like they're left wingers, whereas Hollywood is probably the worst income inequality of any business imaginable. You look at a movie, one guy's making 30 million, and the people next to him are making, they probably earn nothing that year. In how much, few $1,000s. So
Right.
it's like a terrible business. I don't like it at all. So to me, I can't go by that. I really can't. So
Thought that was a decent defense. All right, cool. That makes sense to me.
yeah. All right. I want
Appreciate that. Okay.
all right. I want to talk about something else about the um okay. You said you never heard of Linda Sarsour?
No, who is that?
Linda Sarsour. Okay. A few years ago they had a women's march, okay? And Linda Sarsour was the head of it. She was uh she was born in America, but her family came from, well, like the West Bank. They call it Palestine. I don't use that word because it's it's not an Arab word, okay? But in any case, she's her family's from their husbands from that same village, and then people, and she wore a hijab. She wears a hijab, and then she had to resign, and like she got all these tweets and all that, and she was like, "Do people hate me so much?" And now the article I read was New York Times. I know people bash the New York Times, but you know what? Who's bashing the New York Times? Jimmy Dore? Fuck Jimmy Dore. I don't trust the word he says. So who cares? So if he bashes someone, maybe they're good after all.
By the way, I really appreciate this guy for being one of the early ones to see through Jimmy Dore.
Oh,
No, I really appreciate this guy was on that a long time
yeah,
ago. Thank you.
yeah. Okay. So fuck Jimmy Dore. He's a
Haha.
okay. So who's doing all this shit? Okay. Why is Linda Sarsour? And I hated Linda Sarsour.
I don't know
Why
this
did I?
person. Okay.
Okay.
She
Why
led a
did I
march, right?
hate?
Okay.
Okay, why did I hate her? Because during that march, they were showing how people like in hijabs and like Islam is the
That's
most
okay.
one of the most mass misogynist religions imaginable. And then I
That's a
saw
little
this
harsh,
quote.
bro. Damn.
What?
Okay. That's a little harsh.
It's true. It's fucking true. I'm not gonna mince words here. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking mince words. And people don't like it.
Asians also have some pretty misogynist shit too.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
fine.
But you're right. That,
You,
yeah,
you know what? So does Judaism. The difference is that Jews realized that shit was written 3,000 years ago, and today's the 21st century. That's the difference. Okay? Yeah,
right.
shit can be have written down a long time ago. Doesn't mean you practice it today, right?
There. Okay.
So, and yeah, so I hated her. And also, they were saying this shit how Zionism is anti feminism, which is,
Oh,
are
so
you,
that's why you were mad at her words, but with the hijab
I
was
don't
really
know.
making you mad,
See,
or was it
I
the
don't know if it was
words?
her. I don't know if it was her words. And then the New York Times article said they were talking about Russian trolls. And this is okay. What's going on? This is my opinion. Okay, you had the KGB, then Russia fell. Well, Putin was within the KGB, right?
Ooh, okay. Is this going to
Okay,
somehow tie to Linda Sarsour?
he's tied to people and he's fighting the Cold War all over again. We're fighting a Cold War, except he's not going to fight it the way they did last time because they lost last time. So he's going to change it. And the way they changed it, the way the KGB worked back then, is they find fissures in our society. Doesn't mean that Jews and Arabs don't hate each other, but they're going to work on that. Yeah, right. They're going to send me shit where I see people talk shit about that Zionism is anti-feminism, right? And that's going to get me mad at her, right? And I'm sure on the other side they get shit about shit that Israel's doing, and that's going to make us mad at them. I'll give you an example. I also told you about Yarmouk refugee camp, right? That's in
Okay.
Syria. They killed 4,000 Palestinians. That's like, that's like more than dying against Israel fighting 7 years. It happened one incident in Syria, and no one gave a shit about it, right? So I had I made a video on it. Afterwards, someone, and right now I can see who the bots are, the Russian bots, the Russian trolls, and the guy said to me, "Can you show me proof of this?"
Okay, wait,
Me,
wait.
like an idiot,
I want
I
to ask you.
go
Yeah,
and
go ahead. No, I want to hear
what?
the proof. Damn, I got interested. Go ahead.
No, no, no. The proof was certain articles. So I wrote like an idiot. I write down all these articles, right? But a month later, I go check out those articles. Those articles are gone.
Yeah, they do a lot of erasing. Actually, there's,
A lot of erasing.
you know, but
So now,
actually, one of the groups down here, Met Counts on the Housing, that's controlling the housing, they deleted
right,
their videos of the mayoral so
there's a lot of
everybody's playing those games.
no,
Unfortunately,
but
right, the
not
ones in power, right, the powerful Jewish people also be playing those games too,
no, no,
erasing
but
data.
not but none like the Russians. The Russian trolls, they have like an army of them
But
in
that's
Russia.
my experience because a lot of times I go against establishment powers
Okay,
who happen to be, look, you're
no,
right. I shouldn't
no,
classify them all like that, but
okay,
I just
and
because
that's what I think this war is about in the Ukraine is they're trying to get rid of Putin because of that shit. That's why they're trying to get rid of him. Now they're not going to get rid of him by having Ukraine defeat them. They're just going to have this war drag on, drag on, drag on until the Russian people overthrow Putin. That's what I think.
so
This
you're saying that Putin probably, and that would make sense, right? He's trying to destabilize. But quick question.
mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is that we know the CIA has more powers than ever now. They can tap your phone, they can look at terrorist shit.
Okay,
Clinton's been saying, like, Russia, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
right.
probably at some point, the Secret Service or CIA is going to look into this. Are they so incompetent or are they getting paid off? Or, you know what I mean? Like, if you could see it, right? Probably they figure, like, they can watch the calls and shit.
Oh,
Can
they
they get in the
figured
way?
this out years ago. They
Why?
figured this out.
So, what's going on?
Well, hence we have the war.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's true.
Remember,
Okay.
Putin didn't just. These are not just fucking trolls. He put his puppet Donald Trump in the presidency.
Okay.
Okay, you realize Trump was his puppet.
Okay.
Trump did beauty pageants in Russia. Trump was fucking bankrupt. Putin's got 300 billion.
Okay.
Putin's the one who put Trump in the White House. You know that.
Okay.
Now, am I saying that the other, like the people behind Clinton or Obama or Biden, are they any better? No, but that's what I see this about.
Okay.
But okay, but are you following? Okay, what happened? What
I
is
mean,
this?
yeah, it makes sense. You know, I mean, like if I was trying to disrupt the country, then I would
Yeah,
fuel things that were like, were causing, but I understand, right? You feel you're a Zionist yourself. So if she says
right,
Zionist is anti-feminist, I understand why that would be personally insulting to yourself.
right.
So you know, what I mean, I can't be
No, no,
about the
it's
yeah
not.
about
It's not about personal insulting. It's
but
like
yeah
I'm thinking about
yeah,
Linda Sarsour. Why do I hate her so much? Is it because I hate her so much, or is it
because
because
she's a tool. She's being used as a tool.
someone egging me on?
Oh, wow,
You see?
that's an interesting one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's a
See,
fake
and now you
target.
hate. You're
That's
angry at the
wild. Okay.
you're angry at the Jews, right? Now maybe
Is
something
Linda
happened.
Sarsour Jewish? No, she's
No, no, she's
Arabic.
Palestinian.
Yeah, you just told me that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
why would we met? Oh, because of that sign. It makes me blame them. Hmm. Okay,
No, no,
so
no,
let me
no.
actually just paint a different picture,
Okay.
right, of the Israel-Palestine conflict, just based off of a Korean model.
Okay.
Okay, so the thing is that one day, right? Yeah, there's some people who live on that land. Then after World War II, right, there's this kind of like power struggle between Russia and the US. They start moving to different areas and destabilizing them. The Middle East and Korea definitely is like the targets. They move
Okay.
in and they say, you know what? You see this line right here? Your brother or your sister, your cousin who's over that river line, they're now your enemy. They're the bad guy now. Bam. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
our new rule. They're good. We're bad, right? Yeah. Um, if you take a look, right, Israel and Korea was for a long time the #1 spots for nuclear war kickoff and being watched the borderline for a long time. We have a lot of similarities, right? What do you guys have again? Krav Maga and also Hapkido. We're big with special forces because where the heat is, that's where the martial arts develops real good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So respect to that. Everybody's got to be in the armed forces in Korea too. What about Israel? Is it mandatory
Oh,
service?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, same thing in Korea. Mandatory service. Every male, you're in
Yeah.
there. everybody.
Well,
So
and this is how they changed a bit, but I mean, a lot of the
yeah.
females too. But there's ways to get out of it. It
So
used
is
to
it
be,
yeah?
but
So quick question, right? Is it possible that Zionists and Palestinians lived on the land before, don't really have a problem with each other? Some dude came in and said, you know what? There's this fucking line here. You know what I mean? That's them. This is you. You know what I mean? Fuck them on the other side. Why can't you? Probably y'all would just get along. Who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
well, it started. Okay,
Yeah.
the Zionist
You want to
movement
hang out? That's cool with me. Who gives a fuck?
the Zionist movement started in 1882, and
Okay.
from 1882 to 1917, 35 years, there were a few incidents, but for the most part, they were cool with one another. In
Yeah. That was yeah.
1917, the British took over.
What do they
And the
have to
British,
gain by fucking each other? It's just the military and the
yeah,
people in charge that are pushing each other around.
yeah. Well, the way the British rule is divide and conquer. And that's when all the shit started.
They deliberately destabilize those areas. Those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
not that's not
yeah,
natural
yeah.
for those areas to be in constant warfare conditions.
In fact, I don't have. Oh, now I wish I would have looked it up. But there's a letter in 1919 at the Paris Peace Conference. Paris Peace Conference is the peace conference that decided World War One. So at the peace conference, there was an Arab delegation, right?
Yeah.
And the leader of the Arab delegation, Amir Faisal, King Faisal, sent a letter to the head of the American Zionist organization. And you know what he wrote in the letter?
No.
He said, "We look forward to welcoming home our Jewish brothers."
Oh, that's cool. Damn.
Yeah, that
That,
was
that that's
1990. But that's exactly when the British took over. And the British
uh
weren't having it. That's when the divide and conquer shit started.
yeah, exactly. I'm real skeptical of all the stuff that I hear because of, right? They get things in my country so wrong. I just don't pay attention. Nobody talks
Yeah.
about what you just talked about because that
No,
doesn't serve their narrative. You know what I mean? It's garbage. Just I don't even yeah. Thanks for sharing that, bro. Appreciate
yeah,
that. Now the thing is that and you know, I'm not saying that I'm Christian myself, and I'm saying that my religion doesn't also suffer from this. But the fact of the matter is that they say, you know, church is the most segregated place that we got.
yeah.
And the thing is that, right, there are black Jews, Ethiopian Jews, there's Rastafarians that are they Jewish? Not really sure. Maybe they're Christian.
I don't know what they are.
I that yeah. They talk about Judah and stuff. Anyways, right, yeah. So are there like events where like all the Jews from like I know Hasidics sometimes have this reputation, right, as outsiders. Is there a time when y'all just get together and be cool with
Yeah, we
that?
have the holidays. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm an atheist, but
Well, I do see
they
that. Like a lot of Orthodox people be hitting up the Hasidic guys with those boxes on their heads.
have what?
The box on the head. Don't you like tie like a box to your head, like a black box to your head?
I don't do it. You
But you know
gotta
what I'm talking about. Yo, I'm in New York City. There's a lot of
you
Jews
need to
down
ask
here.
them.
I see all of this. Yeah.
Okay. One, I live in Orange County. In Orange County, every now and then I drive by and I see a synagogue. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
oh
cool.
wow, I didn't know there was a synagogue.
Yo, there's actually cool experience. We get to see the Greeks, right? Yeah, they have their own special ceremonies. We got like the Hare Krishnas are always banging their freaking bells and stuff. There's a lot of just diversity here that's just so fun to be a part of. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, no, go ahead, go
But yeah, the
ahead.
Jews have a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like hanging out with them. Actually, to tell you the truth, Hasidics for me, they're actually have always been treating me very well. That's just me though. Like I don't know how.
All right, cool.
Okay. Anyways, so I was asking about that discrimination, right? Is are there? I know that in Christianity, there's like non-denominational churches which do tend to be a little bit more mixed. Maybe also because I'm in an urban area. What about the right? How about in your experience, Jews and this whole?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I think the biggest I mean, there is the Ashkenazi and Mizrahi or in Sephardic Jews, but that's not really a difference. Probably the bigger difference is that there's what are called Reform Jews, then there's conservative Jews, and then there's the Orthodox Jews. You see, and that's how they celebrate. Like for example, in their Reform synagogue, like men and women would sit together,
Okay, so just
right?
to explain to the audience right quick, right? Because you just made two differentiations right there. When you talk about the Ashkenazi, I think he's
Oh,
talking about
okay.
ethnicity, and they actually, right, because they share like a certain genetics, they actually
Well,
are prone to certain, like, you know, certain diseases, and they also
yes,
have,
yes,
right, yeah, that other
yeah,
population. And this is true for all different,
yeah,
you know, families, I guess. But
yeah.
then you're also making another differentiation, which is a more ideological one. So you could be Ashkenazi Orthodox or Ashkenazi Hasidic, maybe I don't know, but you could
Well, yeah,
technically you could
Hasidics are all
cross over.
Ashkenazi, I think.
So that's right. So there's this. That's the split right there, as in terms of
Yeah,
the different types of differentiations that you're making. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
yeah. Oh no, no. So yeah. So that's what were you? What's your question?
Okay, so I was asking about the like, there is segregation within the Christian community, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that, but honestly, I think that's something we do see less of at non-denomination churches.
Yeah,
There is some integration at, a lot of actually, a lot of
yeah,
each church. I've been to a lot of different churches. Yeah,
right.
I do feel multiple Seventh-day Adventists, but whatever. But by the way, Seventh-day Adventist was completely diverse. Yeah, what am I even saying? But what about the Jewish? Are they diverse kind of, or not really?
Well, you got to realize there's very few Jews in the world. Okay, there's only about
I'm in New York
50.
City, so it's a super stronghold for Jews.
Well,
So to
there's
me,
probably
it
more
looks like
Jews.
they're like mad, like numbers of them.
I know, but that's it.
They
That's
almost made Israel over here, right?
Yeah,
Or something
that's
like that.
it. I mean, 85% of the world's Jews live in two countries. And that's Israel and the United States. And probably United States, probably half of them live in New York City. So you got to, yeah. So, you figure out almost a quarter of the world's Jews live in that one small area. But yeah, it's not really that many outside. If you go outside, like here, like I said, when I pass by a synagogue, it's like, oh, wow, there's a synagogue here. It's just strange to me to see it. And
Well, yeah,
that's in California. If you go like to Missouri or somewhere, I'm sure I don't know how many Jews there are in the whole fucking state.
I even met a black kid at camp once that actually converted to Judaism.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
rare, but I know it's possible. I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
allowed.
yeah. You can
And
convert.
yeah, and the thing is that so it would be interesting. Are any prominent black Jewish people maybe you think would comment on this whole Kanye thing? That would be interesting. What do you think?
Uh, there were. I
Oh,
just
there
read.
was. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
who's a
yeah.
prominent Jewish black person? Maybe we could look them up. I wonder if they did say something.
Well, I know Kanye doesn't like Drake. I mean, Drake is Jewish.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Okay, did Drake say anything?
I don't know, but I don't
I
think
don't
they
know.
liked each other from before. Yeah, so
Yo, Kanye is
so
crazy. He dissed everybody. He dissed Talib Kweli. He's ruthless. You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. So I know he didn't like Drake, and some people have even said that maybe this is him going off on Drake. So I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so that all right, that's interesting. Yeah, appreciate your take on that. So Kanye West, man. So what do you think is the way forward? Right now, you see that a lot of companies are cutting off Kanye,
Right.
stuff like that, right? Yeah, like that's their own choice, I guess. Yeah, but what do you think? What what do you think would be like a solution that made sense for everybody, for Kanye, for the
Oh,
Jewish
I
community,
don't. I don't
for
give a fuck
people
about
outside?
Kanye.
Okay, people outside the community. Okay.
I don't give a fuck about Kanye. Kanye's a. I don't care. He's rich. He's made it. What do I give a shit about
What would
him?
you do if he apologized? Would you think that
I
would
don't care
help
either
or nah?
way.
Fuck that. He's not relevant either way, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. I mean, I don't care about him. I don't care about Kim. I mean, she disowned. I mean, she divorced him, and that's funny too because Kanye's kids are half Armenian, right?
Yeah.
And Armenians got fucked over too. So I mean, doesn't he realize that?
Yeah.
There was an Armenian genocide, right?
I've heard about it. I really
Yeah.
pay all international news. I'm very skeptical on.
No, no, no. This is not skeptical. This happened about 100 years ago, at
Let
the
me
end of World War One.
sorry to break your flow, but here's a quick question, right? Yeah. Why is
Okay.
Israel so rich and North Korea so poor? They're very similar, right? Similar in size, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Are North Koreans stupid, ugly, or lazy? Like, why is North Korea so poor?
Okay. Well, one, Israel's not that rich, and two, why is
But
North
they
Korea?
have one of the largest militaries in the world.
Yeah,
Probably
they
because
do.
all the hate they receive, right? Yeah, but they have to have some money to supply that military.
Well, they built it over time. I mean, Israel wasn't. Israel. It's like it's always changing. Like when I was there, for example, I remember there was this woman I knew, and she was from France, and she decided to go back to France. She goes, "Oh, it's too hard here economically, right?" That was in the '80s. Today, Israel has surpassed
Okay,
France.
so I'm
So
sorry,
Israel is
just one question, yeah. Okay, so the thing is that in Korea, there's a lot of U.S. Army bases. In fact, one
in
crazy,
South Korea. South Korea,
yeah, yeah, and one crazy thing is, well, there probably is in Israel too, right? So I'm going to
not
ask you.
U.S. Not U.S.
So
Army base.
sometimes these Marines go out and, right, not that happens often, but they will rape the populace. Sometimes they accidentally run over somebody. What happened now is that the U.S., right, yeah, they started demanding that Korea pay for the U.S. bases for the real estate.
Oh,
And
okay,
then the
sure.
Koreans got pissed off. They're like, no, fuck it, you pay. You know, I mean, they didn't like that. So sometimes there's resistance about, U.S. I guess they feel like it's borderline occupation. Some of them just say it's straight occupation, right? There's also hookers that kind of like
Uh,
congregate around that area. It's just something that the Korean people honestly are not really thrilled about. But I would also think there's a lot of U.S. bases around Israel, isn't there?
no,
No? Aren't
no,
they giving y'all? They just give y'all guns and I mean, they give supposedly they give you a lot of aid and stuff, right? Militarily.
well, they give aid supposedly. I mean, first they give about 3.8 billion. Everyone makes a big deal of it, but a lot of people in Israel want that stopped. And the reason they
Oh,
want it, yeah, I'll tell you
I didn't
why.
know.
Because the aid isn't really aid. About half of it is Israel buys weapons from the United States, but the aid that they get, the weapons, are weapons that they otherwise wouldn't buy. And a lot of it may not even go to Israel. It might be go to a third party. You
Oh,
know,
so they're just
who
getting it as a
knows?
resource so they could resell it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the United States. See, the United States Congress can't authorize weapons, let's say, to the Kurds, right? But they
Yeah,
can authorize weapons to Israel, right? So they give the
so there's a
weapons to
middleman.
Israel, and then Israel sends it to the Kurds.
Okay,
They
okay.
know that. That's half of it. The other half is to Iron Shield, which is the missile defense system.
Yeah, I'm so
And
happy to get this information from you because you don't hear this anywhere else.
no, you don't. You don't.
Yo, for real,
And
man. Yo,
and
thank
the
you.
missile defense system, the reason the United States gives aid is because so they can have access to the technology. This is really high tech. Israel has really good military. Oh, Israel is one of the leaders in high tech in general. I mean, I was watching it, and on Nasdaq, the country with the most companies on Nasdaq is the United States. Second is China. Third, I think, is Israel. Right?
They
And
also
you
make like
can
a lot of high tech, like
yeah yeah
security
yeah
software, stuff like that.
yeah.
They
And Israel's like
are
a puny
very
little
capable on a
country.
military basis, technological basis. They are
Yeah
not actually their special forces are known for making raids and being like straight up super assassins.
yeah.
They are
Or,
known, right? And you think
or
about it in a wartime environment, you're gonna really find these. You are really, unfortunately,
yeah.
right? Yeah, it's sad what's happening to our people. Sorry.
But other things too, like ways that how you the when you what do you call it when you
Oh
on your
yeah, like the navigation app, GPS.
yeah navigation app. That's Israeli
Yeah,
Wix. Wix, you heard of Wix?
yeah, because you
WIX.
mentioned about it while you were talking about how companies get harmed by uh things like those. What do they call it again? BDM, boycott, divest
Oh
movement.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is to me
Yeah.
really funny because well, one I want to talk about Rashida Tlaib, and she's also from BDS Boycott Israel, and then someone checked out her website, and guess who makes her website? Wix.
Oh, so what happened? Did she have to change it, or what happened?
She probably did. I'm sure she did.
Okay.
Right? She's such a bullshit. Uh, right? And all these people were telling you they're leftists and boycotts are evil because they hurt regular people. But when it comes to Israel, oh no. Collective punishment, oh, that's fine. That's fine. They're such hypocrites, you know?
Yeah. Um, well, you know what? Just really, one thing that I think would help, by the way, and I'm not really saying it's really Jews' job to do this. In fact, I actually make this crazy statement where I say the thing is that when blacks were in slavery, right? Yeah, you don't. The Jews were formerly in slavery, but you don't hear the Jews really having worked really hard on that issue. And the
The
thing is that,
what? The
right?
what?
Well, Jews were slaves before, right? Jews were
Oh, we were
slaves in
slaves in
Egypt.
Egypt, but that was
Yeah,
like 3,000 years ago,
but
4,000
still,
years.
right? Yeah, but still, right? Yeah, you know it's wrong to be slaves, right? Or you know what
Yeah,
it is to be slaves, right? Also
sure.
being persecuted and stuff, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that being formerly slaves, I'm sure that like leads to like these feelings of inferiority, or just like just constant persecution. Like, we
Yeah.
start off as slaves. Damn, we were never kings. Are you serious? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you had the tribes and stuff, but I could see that mentality also taking hold. Right? You
Well,
got to find
actually,
other
I'm
surrogates.
wrong because I
Yeah.
met Jewish slaves. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Those people, like when I was growing
Yeah.
up, I saw people that had the numbers on it. People in concentration camps. They were used as slave labor.
Yeah. That's true, man. I'm sorry about that, man. That's really messed
Yeah.
up. So, anyways, yeah. So, the thing is that also later on, right? Once again, though, when blacks were, their fight for and they did help during the, I guess, the civil rights era, right, later on, but
Right.
during their initial fight to free themselves from slavery, right, yeah, you can't really say that you heard of Jews being superly involved. Maybe history just didn't record it, but also right? Was it really Jews' job to save the black people? They have their own
No,
problems, right? Yeah.
no.
And
It's
the thing
all
is that I
your
say that,
own.
yeah, and that's also for the
Yeah,
black people. That's why I say to the Asian Americans, I say, look, we're working with the black people because we need to learn their activism. We need to learn how to do it, but it's not their job to save us. So don't think it's going to
no,
happen. We
no.
got to learn our own technology and how to fight for ourselves. That's definitely part of my message. Anyways, sorry to go off on a tangent, but
Yeah,
so the thing is that, right, Jews have been spectacularly successful. So in the entertainment industry, we look at Adams Sandler, Barbara Streisand, you know what I mean? The list of Jewish greats goes long, far, and wide. You know what I mean? Congratulations to y'all. You know what I mean? Spielberg, you know what I mean? Is Kubrick Jewish?
who?
Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah,
Hey, yo, I love his movies, yo, and thanks to y'all talent and skill, like you gotta
yeah,
say Jewish people have extreme talent. Props to y'all.
yeah.
When we look at like Jewish people and their influence in the film industry, and we look at the exclusion of Asian Americans, goddamn, bro, you could help us out. You know what I mean? And back in the day, they used to discriminate. I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying, right? Yeah, the ones in charge. I'm saying that would help y'all. Personally, I would think that would help y'all relate with Asian Americans, straight up.
I
You know,
know, but
and
I
also,
know
yeah,
again,
they
like I
used to
told
discriminate
you,
against
I don't
Jewish
like
people
that
in higher
industry.
education, right? Yeah, and
No,
now, right? But now they're doing it to us. Jewish people could be like, "Yo, stop that." You know what I mean? And they could help us
okay.
out a lot. They have a lot of influence.
All right. My advice to
Like, I know it's
Asian
not your
American,
fault. Go ahead. Yeah,
my advice to Asian Americans: study math, not acting. Okay. There's a lot more jobs, good paying jobs in
I'm
math.
not a math guy, bro. I'm an
Okay.
entertainer.
I
I'm
thought
an
you were good in
activist.
math.
I'm
I
an
thought you were
activist
good
in a
in what?
I'm an activist in the DJ, man. You know what I mean? I'm
You're
not
not
a
good.
I'm not that great. I'm okay at math, but I'm not that great. I don't like it that much.
You told me you took advanced courses
I
once.
did. I did.
Okay. All
Cause my
right.
ass was whooped unless I fucking did that shit. You know what I mean? Yo, you know how it is. You about to perform, or fuck you. You know what I mean? Yo,
I
we came
know.
out of war environment. Like violence was a, oh, you know, I'm not. Yo, you've been through a war, man. So I
Well,
respect you
hold
was in
on.
that
Where were
environment.
you
But
born? In
I
North
was
Korea?
born. No, I was born here, but a lot of the violence that my parents went through growing up. You know, what I mean, they weren't just there for the war. They were there in the aftermath as well, right? When all the starvations going on and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure. Wait, you did you ever live in Korea?
Actually, I think they did pretty well and for themselves, but they were able to come here, but still was a messed up environment.
Did,
What
did you ever
I've
live in
never
Korea?
been to Korea, never, never.
Okay,
But they brought a lot of the war. Like they did some crazy shit, like crazy. You know what I mean? So I grew up with a lot of violence and crazy shit, and
right.
why wouldn't they? They're in a
Yeah.
wartime environment. Look, yo, honestly, I've also been like in the Palestinian area, yo, when people just come out of the refugee camps, yo, it's a fucking crime zone. Holy fuck, bro. Yo, they raped
Okay.
some a
First of
13-year-old
all, I
girl
don't.
multiple times. Yo, it was just messed up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's also something that's really happening. And I'm saying like because of the messed up conditions they in. But
No,
you hear
they're
about that
not.
happening in Europe too.
I don't.
Maybe
I
it's true,
don't.
maybe it's
Again.
not. But it did
I-
happen where I was. I was in Brooklyn, bro.
Okay.
And
First of
shit
all, the
like that.
Palestinians have a higher standard of living than people in Egypt or Jordan or Syria or Lebanon. So I don't want to hear that shit that they're messed up.
Yo,
Now,
I met the ones from that were moved into
where?
Brooklyn. Yo, they were messed up, bro. There's no question
Where
about
were
it.
they from? Where were they from?
They were from the Palestine fucking refugee camp.
Where? Which one? There's Palestinian refugee camps all over the
I don't
place.
know, but those kids were so gangster. It was not funny, man. That shit was
In
messed up.
Israel?
I don't even know if they still alive.
What?
No, they were from. They said they was from Palestine. Maybe they were from somewhere else. They were straight criminals. I don't even know if I can believe them anymore. Actually, thinking about it,
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, the sister seemed cool. I don't know. I don't know. The shit was real crooked, bro. The shit was crazy.
Maybe that was just their excuse.
It was just gangsters.
Yeah.
I met gangsters of all races, really, but the
Yeah.
Palestinian ones were super. Or the ones who said they were Palestinian was super hard.
Okay.
That shit was not
Okay.
cool.
First of all, let me tell you something. I saw this poll. It was about 2 years ago.
I know some
What
Palestinians that are
percent
cool
of
too, but
Arab?
I don't want to put down all Palestinians. But I know some that were cool, but yo, the gangsters were messed up, bro. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. No, you don't even know if they were Palestinian. But anyhow, 80% Arabs don't think of themselves as Palestinians or Syrians or Lebanese. That was all lines created by the European powers. That's not
I
Arabs.
believe that. I believe
What?
that. I believe
Yeah.
that. That sounds exactly like what happened to us, bro. That's their
Yeah.
whole fucking strategy. That's
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Go ahead. I'm
You
sorry.
guys were divided for really no reason. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. There was no
There's a
reason to.
line there.
Yeah.
That's a great looking line right there. It looks like it's
And
about in the middle. It's so straight. You know what I mean?
I
Get the
know.
fuck out of
And
here.
it's
You
the
know?
exact same
Oh my
people.
god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah. Yo, if you read about the way the negotiation was handled, the U.S. didn't give a shit. They were ready to let it go. They just said, you know what, fuck it. Let me just ask for half. Then the whole country ripped. Bam. There you go.
Yeah. Well, they just wanted Japan.
that's what they really wanted, right? But if they could get half of Korea, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean?
They just wanted Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Russia always wanted Korea. Russia wanted Korea since 1905.
Yeah,
You know,
port, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Peninsula. They could do a
oh
lot
yeah,
of shipping. That could be like New York City. That could be a
yeah,
huge fucking port.
yeah.
Anyways, yo,
All
so
right.
actually it's almost we're getting towards 9:30. Anything else you want to say on this subject? I think you did pretty I really appreciate your insight
Okay.
on this matter.
Oh, just one last thing about Cornell West, that piece of shit.
Oh no, haha, get him.
Okay. Now,
I
what's
don't
this?
like him either, just so my audience knows. He's still hiding about that MPP shit, but go ahead.
Oh, fuck Cornell. I hate that guy. Anyhow, what's this shit all about? When you see the Jimmy Dore and he's always talking about Syria, right? And he's
I don't
saying,
know.
oh, it's
I don't watch,
what?
but I don't watch, but okay.
Yeah, he was always talking about it. Okay, you know that in 2015, around that area, well, since the Arab Spring for about the next 10 years, there was a genocide in Syria.
How does Dr. Cornel West knows what's going on in Syria?
Oh no, no, let me tell you what's going
Okay, go
on.
ahead. Yeah, do
There
tell
was
me.
a
Yeah.
genocide in Syria.
Hmm.
500,000 people were killed, right? You remember 2016, Bernie Sanders ran for president and he lost to Hillary. Then they went to the convention in Philadelphia. And Bernie sent his people, one of them was Cornel West, to negotiate with Hillary. You know what was one of those things that they wanted on the table?
What's
Is
that?
that the United States. Now, the truth is, it was probably too late by then anyway, but he wanted the United States not to intervene in Syria, basically, not to stop a genocide. That's how big a piece of shit Cornel West and Bernie Sanders is. And the only thing the United States had to do, United States didn't have to intervene. All they had to do was put a no-fly zone, right? Because no one's going to fuck with the United States, right? All they
Yeah.
had to do is, but by then it was probably too late anyway. But that's what a piece of shit he is.
Have you heard the saying, the first thing to die in war is the truth?
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't believe, like, I know you're saying that, Syrians, there was a massacre over there,
yeah. There was a
but
genocide.
okay,
Not a massacre. There was a genocide. 500,000 people was a genocide.
I don't really get in a lot of talks about Syria. If I meet more Syrians, I'll get to know about it.
Right.
To tell you the truth, more of my time is with like the Chinese community. So
I
I meet a lot of
understand.
these, I meet a lot of these new white socialists and stuff who say that there's no cultural revolution, and I have to look at them with
Right.
disbelief.
Right.
But I'm in New York City. There's probably a Syrian population, and I will find out more about this.
Ask
I
them.
didn't know
Ask the
anything.
one.
I will.
Yeah, and don't ask the ones who've been there 20 years. And also be careful because, like I said, they're not all the same. Okay. Syria, there are the Alawites. See, here's the thing: the people who run Syria are Alawites. Who are
How do you know all
Alawites?
this?
What?
How do you know all this?
I study it.
Okay.
Plus, I'm from Israel. I'm right next door. I got to
Oh,
study.
I
Okay.
get it. Right. Yeah. Like just like I said, I know a little bit more about China. Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
Syria is really next door to Israel.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
They have a
American.
border.
I don't know my geography like that, man.
Okay, they have a
I don't
border
know.
together. Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
they're ruled by the Alawites. Who are the Alawites? The Alawites make up about 15% of the population. They believe in the Quran, but they believe in other shit too. They believe in reincarnation and stuff.
Okay. I'm
So,
not mad at that.
so, so the rest of them, the Muslims, see them as heretics, and they hate them. And now they hate them even more because they've been running the country for the last 100 years, because that's who the French make up about 15%. The colonial powers always put a minority in charge because that's the ones they could trust. That's how you run a colony. Anyway, so when the Arab Spring came, what's funny?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at my screen here because I'm actually checking the comments. Some
Right?
people dropped some comments in here and they dropped some funny shit in here. I'm just smiling at
Uh,
the. I'm
can
sorry.
I read it?
I got caught up in the reading these comments. I stopped listening for a second. Yeah, I dozed off for a
How come
second.
I don't see the comments?
I'm on the YouTube right now. It says that there's technically only one viewer, but if you go to
Oh,
my YouTube channel, the live stream should be the first link right there, and then you can see what people posted in here. So, did they ask to get anything about you? One person asked if you were Mexican.
Mexican.
Hey man, I guess maybe the black colored hair. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
By the way, your picture's not up now, but I don't mind. But just so you know, yeah.
Right.
Someone said post comments, it helps the algorithms or some such stuff. He asked if I was born in North Korea. I was not born in North Korea. My mother is from North Korea. Um, but okay, so I'm sorry, that's just what the comments said.
This guy is Mexican. He looks Mexican. Post comments will help the algorithm.
Yo, hey, oh, you
Was
see it right
born in
there?
North
You see it? You
Korea.
see where they think you're Mexican? Hey, that's not me, man.
Well, who said that? He asked if you were
We need
born
critical thinking. You see that?
Okay.
I've seen them in the comments. I may have met them in real life. I don't know. But I definitely recognize this. They in the chat regularly. That's
How
one of
does
the few
this guy
watchers on
love
program.
Jimmy Dore? Jimmy Dore is such a.
He said there's no accounting for taste.
Right.
Look, Jimmy Dore, I understand. He says some things, right? Yeah. I just didn't know how he was keeping a closed system and how he was only doing it.
No,
He's
he's
doing a lot of it for the
sold.
money. Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. He's just he's sold out as you can get.
Yeah, it took me, I mean, yeah, I appreciated him before, but now I realized, yeah, I also I understand the allure though. Anyways, he used to be okay.
Who's this? We need critical thinking. We need critical thinking.
He's just someone who hangs out in the Yellow Brick Road Discord, actually.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so
does he remember me from there? Because I was on that. Remember they kicked me out. They said, "Oh, we welcome all different opinions." Then I went on and they kicked me out.
Well, actually, those people got probably left themselves because they wanted to ban everybody. Anyways, so actually, interestingly enough, I think something that's about to go live right now is this Caleb Maupin and Nick Brana thing. Do you know about that?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm about to share the screen with you and show you some ratchet shit. Are you ready?
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Okay, they're actually starting right now, but I'm gonna take the time and show you this because it's just too fucking funny. All right, let's go. Okay. Okay, you see that right there?
Okay.
Okay. Now the thing that Caleb Maupin. Okay, you ever see this guy before?
No.
No? Did you? Okay. So
Nick Brana, I know, yeah.
Caleb Maupin got involved with he was abusing and starving his followers, and he was also making one of them spank him for his sexual gratification.
Oh, is that the guy at the top?
This is Vosh, but Caleb Maupin is this guy, the guy pictured here. He's actually he's about to do a live stream with Nick Brana. Do you know about Nick Brana's sex allegations?
I didn't, but I imagine yeah.
Okay. It's not just this lady who accused him, also this lady as well. Both of these ladies here accused him of pushing them towards prostitution.
Now, do they know you? Does Nick Brana? I know you ran into him.
Yo, Nick Brana definitely knows me. Caleb Maupin knows me too. Yo, these people I've been in all their faces.
But anyway, do they talk to you or they pretend you don't exist?
They're well, Nick Brana runs the fuck away. He's scared as shit. But the thing is that Caleb Maupin, I'll tell you about him in a second, yeah? Okay. The thing is that his people, right, remember his starved, abused workers and shit? They're actually on the ground at events. And people that actually show up, right, yeah, I give them all respect in the way I say they're workers. Now, as
they work
workers,
for him?
Yeah. But, well, that's why they're starving and abused and shit, being pushed to prostitution. But, okay, the thing is that they, right, are working on the ground to try to change the future. And in the end, anybody who's working on the ground is going to have an impact, and that's who I got to work with, and we got to find a middle ground. But Caleb Maupin, right, sits in his fucking cushy-ass studio and just comes out once in a while, right, yeah, to be the celebrated Superman. He gets to be someone in the movement. He doesn't get to be the leader. He didn't earn anything. It's stupid, yeah? He's just using his connection to celebrity, and, so tonight, Nick Brana, you see Nick Brana, half of the boardroom was moved in investigation that alleged sexual harassment by Nick Brana. You see that right there?
Is this Nick? Who's Nick Brana? Is he
Nick Brana is the head of the People's Party. He's this guy right here with Cornel West. Funny to talk about it.
Yeah,
you see right here Cornel West with Nick Brana?
Yeah.
They're part of that same corrupt crew. I'm sorry to
say. Did you ever meet Cornel West?
Yeah, I protested at his events. Nobody from Nick Brana's crew that you see associated with Nick Brana or Jimmy Dore is allowed to make do anything in New York City without pressure.
Okay, Jeff, Ed, listen. I want you to listen to what I'm talking about. Okay, there was a genocide in Syria.
Oh, yeah, I told me about that.
And this piece of shit, Cornel West, wanted to stop, to make sure the United States does not get involved and stop it.
Hey, if what you say is true, I don't know why he's getting involved in it. I don't know why he would even know what's going on. What you say
everybody knows what's going on.
I didn't know. It sounds plausible. I got to do more research onto it.
I want you to do it because all of it is tied in. All these fuckers, Jimmy Dore and all that, their work for Putin, and Assad and Putin are tied. I'm
I
telling
pretty
you,
much ignore all foreign news. I don't believe
do
anything.
not ignore this. That's what a piece of shit Cornel West is. He'd rather watch 500,000 people get murdered than
I don't
probably
even know
because
why he would even claim to know what's going on over there. Has he ever
why?
been there?
Because he's on someone's
Because
payroll.
someone told him to? Yeah.
No, because
Well,
he's
why
on
would he
some
know?
what?
Why would he know what's going on there? He
Everybody knew what's going on there. There was a fucking genocide.
sorry to hear
Okay,
that, man. Sorry to hear
there
that.
was a genocide, and people just wiped it off the board like it didn't happen. All right, and the people who did it were Putin and Assad, but I'm sure the United States okayed it because they would not have gone in there if the United States didn't give a say to them. Okay, we're gonna let you do what you want to do. Okay, whenever you hear that all this shit, I mean, it's over now. It's not over. They're still killing people, but there was a genocide in Syria, and this piece of shit. And don't. I know you don't know, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay, and he wanted to prevent the United States from interfering and stopping it. Not that it would have mattered because nobody, I'm not saying he's the only one, but he presents himself as a good guy. So does Bernie Sanders, and they're not.
Interesting that you should criticize Bernie Sanders, because he also came out for that thing you said to, stop intervention in Syria, right?
Yeah, yeah. And they act like, oh, we don't want the United States to get involved. All
Are there
right.
any
Well,
is there anybody trying to get involved on the other side and trying to support the genocide?
well,
Is there
yeah,
anybody going that far?
Putin,
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 okay.
Putin and Assad, and the United States is letting them go. But it's too late now. I mean, it's already happened. I mean, you know,
How long
most of
has this genocidal type of stuff been going on in that community? Like, has
it
there always been a
happened.
hatred
The
between
main year
these?
was about 2015.
What happened? Was there something lead to it recently that led to this hatred between the peoples, or they've
No,
always
no,
had
no, no,
problems?
no, no. In 2011, do you remember the Arab Spring? Does that ring a bell? Arab Spring.
Okay, so what that was like when the Arab countries started doing better or something,
No,
or there's
when the Arabs
revolutions and stuff
started, yeah, when they started overthrowing their leaders,
and getting
Mubarak,
democracy.
they tried democracy, but it never happened.
I never
'Cause they,
believed any of it, but I always thought like maybe the U.S. was setting up over there. I didn't
no,
know,
no, they
right? They
just
said,
had,
yeah, okay.
yeah, they just replaced one dictator with another. Okay, but then it came to Syria, and when it came to Syria, probably Assad, the leader, who's weak, right, was about to leave. So then his people told him, look, if you leave, they'll slaughter all of us. So he brought in his friend Putin, and they with okay, give you an example.
I've heard about that happening in Ethiopia as well. Similar, and in Afghanistan, there was people trying to jump on the plane when it was taken off. Yeah, they will
You
kill
know why
people
they were jumping on the
who are
plane,
left in
right? You know
because
why they
the
were
people were
jumping
going
on?
to kill them. Yeah, the
Yeah,
people. Yeah, they were
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so this is actually unfortunately a common occurrence that the
yeah.
U.S. kind of leaves
No,
behind in their wake.
yeah, but this wasn't the U.S. This had nothing to do with the U.S. except that the U.S. probably could have prevented it, but they let it go. And their excuse for it all was ISIS. You heard of ISIS, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think they try to scare us? They said ISIS chops people's heads off and uses them as soccer balls, right?
And that is one thing that I actually would like to talk about my man Frank Analysis for a second. I remember that he used to say, Ed, why do you know what I mean? Are you for a full withdrawal of United States from all the military bases? And I get the appeal of that particular, of the way that sounds,
Right,
but from knowing people that are like in that area, the destabilization that will occur, you know what I mean? There's certain conditions that have been formed by the presence there and
right.
that need to be accounted for. You can't just jerk it out and be like, oh, well, we're just going to do this and you got to deal
Yeah,
with the consequences. That's
yeah,
not fair at all.
yeah,
So I know that you guys have these idealistic ideas, and I understand where it's coming from for real. But if you guys don't know what you're doing or don't know what you're talking about, then you should really, once again, please listen to first. A lot of people talking about like Ukraine and Russia or whatever, but they're
mhm,
not really talking so much about like the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Syria thing, I've heard a little bit, but it never really was brought to like my full attention as being
no,
critical. There was always so many other things going on
no.
here,
They're
there,
never going to
everywhere.
talk about it because one, it's too late. But I'll give you. I don't know if you saw a few months ago. There was you know who Ken Burns is, right? The filmmaker, the documentary maker.
I'll look them up.
Oh, you never heard of Ken? Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me just make my point real quick.
Okay.
Um, it, he had a documentary. It was called a few months ago. It's called "The United States and the Holocaust."
Okay.
Right. Anyhow, the point I'm trying to make in it is: do you know that by the time that American Jewish groups started talking about the Holocaust, started going to the president, going to Congress, that's if we can do something about it. Do you know? But when they first started doing that, 3/4 of the people who were killed in the Holocaust were already dead. You're not listening.
No, I mean like so like he started the movie and then three-quarters of people were dead. So
No,
what
no,
about the
not the movie. No, not the movie.
okay?
When
But
they
you said something about three-quarters of people being dead.
no, no.
So what about that? Yeah.
By the time the Jewish groups started protesting, started going to Congress, hey, let's do something about the Holocaust, it was
Yeah.
almost over, right? My point to that is by the time, whenever we hear about these causes, oh, stop the genocide here or stop this, by the time we hear about it, it's over. You know, we don't hear about it, so it's too late. The people who could do something are, not to say the president didn't hear about it, not to say the CIA didn't hear about it, but
You
they're
know,
not going to do it.
I'm
They're not going to do anything about
I'm
it.
gonna ask something. I don't want this to go too conspiracy theory, but if we
Okay.
take a look at the U.S., right? Yeah, they actually during World War II, they actually were responsible for some of the thought that really the Bible of Nazism actually came from ethnic cleansing ideas developed in the United States. Do you think that there might be some Nazi type presence, right? I mean, there's the new like those skinheads and stuff, but do you think that there's like a Nazi presence maybe in higher levels of government that are trying to act on the Jewish people, or
I don't know if
oppose
there's
their
that, but
maybe
you
I don't know.
should you should watch that. Maybe you should watch that show, The U.S. and the. It's just 3 parts, like each is about an hour and a half. But what it does is, like there was a not in 1940 there was even American Führer. This one guy who presented him. They wanted to bring the Nazi Party here. I mean, the Bund.
All right.
Maybe look that up. Let's see if I could.
The boots. Hey, actually, been some Ku Klux Klan guys who were in Congress and stuff, right?
Oh
Who's
yeah,
David
oh
Duke or
yeah,
something?
oh yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, Ken Burns. Okay, that's
Okay,
cool, man.
look up.
I could share my screen. You want to see it?
Yeah,
But
no,
tell me
no,
if this Ken Burns. Actually, share right now. Bam. Is this actually? Let me put this on the screen here. Is this Ken Burns right here?
I can't see.
No.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What am I missing here? Shit, why am I missing this?
I don't know. I can't see you either.
Okay,
Maybe you gotta re.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah. That's Ken Burns here. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So you said to look up something else?
The Bund, Bund.
BUND. Okay. I'm actually would like to stop sharing it because the thing is that I'm streaming, so
Oh,
they can't really
okay.
see the screen at the moment. Yeah, now I'm
Okay,
gonna
no,
see it
that's
back.
fine. That's
But
fine.
I
Yeah.
am looking up BUND, and what is the Boons?
It was this American Nazi movement.
What? Okay, let me look at that. Okay,
Yeah, it was before World War II.
German American Bund. Okay, I do see that. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. All that shit was here.
Okay,
They wanted to bring it here. Trust
yeah,
me.
there was actually at the beginning of the war, right? I have seen that there was a significant right forward and stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
well known. So, anyways, just interesting, just to right? I know you would probably look into this stuff more than I would, so I don't really know about it, you know. It's been a cool little journey, man, and
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
All right.
So
You
yeah,
starting your other stuff now?
well, actually, it's not supposed to start until like maybe 10:30. I see. Let me click on it now. There's people waiting probably. Ooh, people are in the chat right now. Mop.
Oh,
Okay, he's got actually quite a few plans. He's been doing daytime shows to get like 100 people in there.
okay.
Team Brana. Oh my God. Yo, yo, let me share this. Have you seen my video of me taking down Nick Brana?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, let me see if I could share my actually. Let me share the screen on this one over here. Maybe I could do it like
All right.
this. I got okay. I moved the thing over so I can share this with you now. I'm gonna show you this ill video, bro. Okay, of Nick Brana getting effed up by me. Show you. Did you see the one of the People's Court?
I saw one that you were in his face and he didn't want to talk to you, which doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, no, no. This is hilarious, bro. You're gonna love it. Hold up. I sound just like, what's his name? I sound like Trump. What's up? You love it. Okay, share the screen here. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, bam. Share. Okay, move this off here. And I'm gonna play which one? Oh, this one over here. Oh my goodness. This guy's so guilty. Half the board resigned, bro.
All houses to all towns.
Yeah.
Give it
That
up.
was a scam all the way.
Now you're gonna see. I told this guy to fuck up. This is embarrassing.
I don't know, man. It just feel good to be here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
And
they're
I
about
wanna
to be
let all
live.
y'all know
Nick
I
Brana
love
and
you,
Caleb
man. I
Muppin.
love all
Did I show you
y'all.
about the spanking
You know,
shit?
but
Spanking,
what I really
starvation,
came here
abuse.
tonight
Wait till I show you that video.
for
That shit's
one
hilarious.
reason.
An address to our members by Nick Brana, the chair
People's
of the
Court.
People's Party. My friends, I have been accused of sexual harassment. My friends, I have been accused of sexual harassment.
Criminal behavioral analysis, deception detection. Stress can indicate lying. Nonverbal behavior that could indicate deception are changes in body movements and actions on the part of the interviewee.
Oh, shit.
Our primitive brain wants to tell us to either stand and fight or run away.
So you're deflect.
right now about being a personal friend of the accuser.
I'm not a personal friend
not
of the
disclosing
accuser.
your
I have
relationship.
literally met
False.
the woman who accused you twice in my life.
You're gonna dig
One was at
this.
an
That's
event.
not
You
what she
got,
said.
that's not what she says.
Correct.
So are you going actually to answer my questions, or you're
Who's
just
this
going
guy
to
on the
try-
left?
I will. I
That
just
is
want
cool.
your viewership and you
Jordan
to disclose
Sheridan.
the conflicts of
Oh,
interest.
that's
You
Jordan
have
Sheridan.
in the
I have no
story.
conflicts of interest. None.
Verbal indicators of deception can include words such as like, sort of.
She she came to town with one of the other contractors, and there was an action going on in DC, a protest, and the three of us went to that.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
The investigator should drill down into the details, both with the person who's confessing and outside, to verify or refute the details.
So in your statement, you said that there was 3 board members who were
Yeah,
part
do
of
you
a
hear
special
volume
committee
or is
investigation.
it
Huh?
yeah.
I have
Is there volume here?
two
Yeah,
board
put it up.
members, as well as another source, saying that later on a 4th person
I
was
can't hear
added to the
someone.
Special
Sorry,
Investigative
man.
Committee, Todd Gillett. So why does your statement say there was
Yeah, it
3
doesn't
people
come through.
investigating?
It's all right, I'll watch
when
it
there was
later.
4?
What's it
Yo,
called?
it's
Was-
hilarious. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you could see that really lay out the whole
Okay.
the guilt of the guy. You know, I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
clear
that
he's
guy's
guilty
a-
from the video, right?
Yeah.
Pretty clear. Yeah, man. So now you're on this screen over here. Yes. Now I'm
All
looking
right.
at a different angle.
No, but if you had a chance, take a few minutes, read about what happened in Syria, because a lot of the people here, I know you think, oh, who gives a shit about Syria, but a lot of the people you watch, and I include Jimmy Dore, that's what it's all about. Their job is to cover that shit up, right? I know you don't think it's important or you don't care, but there was a
No,
genocide.
it is actually relevant, right? But the thing is
Yeah.
that it's not that I don't care; it's that I don't trust any of the information. You know what I
I
mean?
understand.
That's
I
all.
understand.
Like, it's not like, honestly, I feel like it's happened to my people too. I
Right.
wish that we could get together, but I feel like even like myself, right? Just the way that I see them, the messing up, like what's going on in my country and how they're not like reporting certain things.
Yeah.
I've completely disregarded, right? Yeah, like
No,
anything foreign. Like people say Russia, Ukraine. I don't believe anything.
I understand. And a lot of times we look at something that's far away. But you did say something earlier, did you not? You gave me credit that
Yeah.
I exposed Jimmy Dore early, right?
Hey, I'm
How
not saying
did I
it.
expose?
Nobody's
'Cause-
perfect, right? Yeah. Hey, look,
Yeah.
what you say.
You-
I'm gonna actually ask some Syrians, and like I may have heard something like this before, but I just
Right.
don't have enough Syrian people
Okay,
that I know.
Let
There's a
me
lot of other
explain.
communities I work with, but
Okay,
you know, I mean,
know,
this
but-
sounds.
no. But let
serious.
me tell you. Let me explain to you something. Jimmy Dore and all these fuckers, they're not going to lie to you on shit that you know, right? Because
Yeah.
okay, so the
I never listened to Jimmy Dore in Syria. Maybe by
Okay,
that time I
okay.
already like left Jimmy Dore.
I know. So they'll lie to you about shit you don't know anything about. And okay, one, they're going to tell you stuff. They're going to agree with you on local stuff. They're going to tell you, oh, the Democrats suck, which they do, right? And that's how they win you over. But
I'll tell you what got
but-
me into Jimmy Dore. The
oh,
thing is that right after Bernie lost to Hillary, and Hillary did all those dirty tricks and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There was a
yeah,
lot of people who were just like, "Fuck that," you know what I mean? And
yeah,
Jimmy Dore was one of those guys. You know what I mean? So that's really I feel like where he had his lane,
yeah,
and just off of like having a community that wanted to say "fuck that," um, I think that's where.
yeah,
Would you say that's accurate or not really? I mean, for
yeah.
me, that's
I
what it
mean,
was.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the way I got into it, when I look back, it wasn't. I got what's that game? Mike Figurino. What's his
Like
name?
Figueredo.
Yeah, I got a text on my phone, and now when I look back at it, you and I can't afford to send texts to other people. Imagine if you could do that on your videos. Imagine how many viewers you would have.
Oh no,
So
I can do that.
you
You mean
can
like
do that.
you mean like what? Have people text into my program or like
Can you send out texts to millions of people?
not to millions, but
Exactly.
but
Now,
they
if you
don't
could,
want to watch my shit. I'm just not that interesting. It's okay. It is
okay,
what it is. It's
no,
okay.
no, you could,
Hey, I'm doing the best I can.
okay, but do you know of a way to send texts to millions of people?
Actually, there was a list that I had access to, but I didn't take advantage of it. Fucking sorry to say.
And could you have done that?
Yeah,
How did you get that list?
because my boy actually bought a list in North Carolina, and I could have promoted my show on it, but I got so busy with other shit, and I've been messed up.
And how much would it cost you to send texts?
He had already
to
bought it because he had like a campaign bought, but his
And how
campaign
much
wasn't
did it
going
cost
well.
him? How much
I
did
don't
it
know,
cost
but
him?
he said he would like do that for me, so he had some left over. I didn't ask him, you know what I mean? How much is it? Like he just said, "Yo, I got like these texts that I could send for you." You know what I mean? Yo, like let me know. And I said, "All right," and then I just never got back to him. Fuck.
Oh, you should have done that.
I
Because
should have.
that's how I got into all this shit. I got it from Mike Figurino, and that's how I found out about this guy and
He
that guy and
texted
that.
you.
What?
He texted you? That's wild.
Correct.
Okay. Maybe
Correct.
Mike got a similar offer. I never heard of that before.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
that's how I learned about all this shit.
Maybe he got your well, you're also in California, right? So maybe he got your name off a list somewhere.
Yeah,
A local
yeah.
organizer or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
I donated money to Bernie. I don't, maybe
Where's
that's.
Mike from? Isn't he from New York? He's not from California.
I think he's from Oregon or somewhere.
Oh, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So he got it remotely. So he got
Yeah,
it.
he's
Interesting.
also a phony because I heard them mention him on Meet the Press. They're not going to
Okay.
mention you on Meet the Press if you're not part of the establishment. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, if you can get, you know what? If you say you're not innocent, I don't care. Or get some girls with big boobs or something behind you. Then you'll be interesting.
That could happen, but honestly, I'm not really. We'll have to see, man. Yeah.
I swear, get a text, and you and I will do a show, and I'll start talking crazy shit, and I'll start.
Are they political though? Right? Yeah, we got to find that mixture. So there
Okay,
are
that's
some.
that's.
I don't know
Well,
if
you
they have.
find
Yeah. I don't know
if
if
you
they have
can
a
get a
big team, but
text
they
of
might.
something.
Yeah. Actually, I could think of one right off the top of my head. Anyways,
Right?
that would be an awkward introduction though. I hope she's not watching. Anyways, look. Hey, look. It's different ways are different ways. Don't take it personally. Yeah.
All
Just
right.
talking here. Anyways, yeah. So who else? Oh, we're at 10 o'clock. Maybe about half an hour to go until the. Oh, you want to see some pictures of the Caleb Moffitt spanking situation? Oh my goodness, this is so bad. Yeah. You want to see? It's hilarious. Do you know about Caleb Moffitt appearing on Jimmy Dore and stuff too?
No, no.
That's why he's sending like Nick Bronna to go and rescue his ass.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're trying to support each other because Jimmy Dore wants to establish a base in New York. You get what I mean? Yo, you know how they blackballing me from they shit, right? You know they blackball me, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what I do is I blackball them. Anything that they show up in New York, I fuck it up, including Cornell West, including fucking what's his name? What's fucking Lee Camp? If he tries to do
Oh,
an event
yeah.
out here, I'm out front fucking yelling and screaming. I made fucking QR codes with links to websites that show what the fucked up shit that they did. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yo, just projecting it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
building my brand by doing that. Fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all treat me right, or I'm gonna make this public. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, they can't do nothing in New York, so they trying to make this new group Caleb, but I don't give a fuck if they 20 deep. You know what I mean? They're not stopping me. I have a lot of respect in the crew, anyways, which is ridiculous. They need to. Wake
It's
up.
fun. I like when you got on Yang's face.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
have you seen, oh you seen those? Yeah, those are fun.
oh yeah. He didn't want anything to do with you.
I'm still going after him. Anyways, I have a recent video at the Korean Fest. That's a fun one. You should watch that one too.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So Caleb Maupin, he actually was spanking, and I can show you. Actually, the another sad part is because I'm here in New York, where he's
Okay.
based out of. I actually met his people, so I
Okay.
know them personally.
Hold on. Do you want me to put? Am I the reason? Should I put my face on, or do you take it off?
You can. No, I didn't take it off. You.
Oh, I thought you
Oh
did.
no, why would I do that, bro?
I don't know. I guess I did. I don't
Click
even know.
on the bottom. There's something called like turn video on or stop video. Press that button. It might. You know, like how you can mute yourself.
Start video.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
there
there
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yo, this is just so bad. Okay, there's actually a Medium article. Oh, it's so funny. The thing is that, right? I'll give you some updates. Actually, my people have also been watching this because this has been such a interesting little story here. Okay, wait, this is not the Medium article. Oh, no, wait, hold on, let me find. Abusive starvations, banking. I do have a backup on my. They actually. Oh, they deleted it. There's okay. Yo, there's so much happened. Wow, they. Okay, I have a backup of the files though. That I don't know if anybody else has it. Just so you know, if you're watching DDO7, has the fucking backups, what's really good. Anyways, I'm gonna share my screen with you, let you see some of what I'm showing you right now. This is fucking hilarious. Some real crazy shit. Okay, you see that right here? Caleb Maupin spanking.
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is that there's actually a article. Let me go to this one over here. Drive. And if where's the Caleb Maupin shit? I didn't make a copy. Shit, recent. Yeah, okay, this one. Oh my goodness. So they actually published this on Medium. Okay, this is member 1 and member 2 right here. Okay, This is Nick. His name is Flames of Liberation. He also has a channel. You could look it up right now. Now, just know there's hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people involved in this drama right now. So you're going to see the numbers pump up. And even Nick Brana is now involved trying to save Caleb Maupin, which is fucking hilarious. People are calling Nick a Fed, and they're saying he set the whole thing up to try to get Caleb Maupin. It might be all a deep fake, but the thing is that this is just interesting, right? Yeah? Anyway, so we're going to go over here. This is Caleb Maupin. No, okay. Caleb Maupin's the guy. I showed you his picture, right? You know what he is, right? This is Caleb Maupin.
Yeah.
This is his second in command, Keaton Mansfield. You ever heard of him?
No.
Now, the thing is that they're into socialism, but you're going to notice that a lot of them are very young. Now, the fact is that I've been a socialist, well, I kind of like moved away from the term more, but I was in socialism movements since the 90s.
Okay.
You've also, right, you know, the Green Party has a lot of deep ties to socialism. You've been around it. You know, I've been in some communal living situations, stuff like that, right? Different experiments with socialism, and these kids never have. But the thing is that, right, I'm being shut off from talking to them by people like Caleb Maupin that want to dominate the conversation as thought leaders. I have more background probably than Caleb Maupin, seriously. Anyways, yeah, I ain't mad at that, but notice that they attract a lot of young people, and you're going to hear about the abuses that started and the cult that really led them. So these people, Nick is actually separate, right? But this guy's actually named Yankee Tanky. This is Lily over here, and this is member 2. I know her actual name, but I'm not going to put it out there because she hasn't released that publicly. So the thing is that over here, they show that, you know, he pushes sexual desires onto members that considered to be a leading comrade. He pushed out a member of Students of Youth for New America after she made clear she would not do sexual favors for him. That's in the video where he actually makes a statement about this stuff, which is hilarious.
Right.
But it's sad that he's making more victims. I told them about this. There's texts that go back and forth. So I'm going to show you, I can go back to the pictures and show you, tell you more about what happened. So right now in the community, because there's also, you ever something called the infrared community or Haas? No?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
I think Haas has about like 20,000 subscribers. Something like that. Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, this person also makes deep condemnations against Caleb Maupin. Yeah, these 3 people. Now, Nick over here of Flames of Liberation, you can find his YouTube channel right now. In fact, I'll show it to you. Right, why don't I just show you everything? Okay. YouTube Flames of Liberation. And one thing is he's being accused of being a CIA plant right now. But I'll tell you, this is very interesting because notice that he actually speaks with someone from North Korea. What? Okay. But the thing is that, right, he's not North Korean. He's actually a guy from London who pushes North Korean propaganda in England. but he
Okay.
doesn't talk to me, even though right, just like yourself, I'm not a direct primary source, but I've been around Koreans my whole life. Like, ask them, what do you think is going on over there? You know what I mean?
Right.
That makes me a better source, and just understanding like the results of war and shit like that, right? Versus Jackson Hinkle, anyways. So here, oh, he still has this up, okay? So he's still openly accusing Caleb Maupin. But very recently, what happened is that these people, I'll show you over here. Some of them have withdrawn. Yankee Tanky, he's down here, okay? Where is that? This is Yankee Tanky right here. And actually, Caleb Maupin accused him of having a gun rap, which is hilarious. So he said he had a bunch of failed mutual, right? They're trying to throw dirt on each other's reputation. This guy over here has retracted his testimony. And this girl, Lily, is still hanging out with Caleb Maupin to this very day.
Really?
But they wrote, okay, but this guy wrote a statement. This guy wrote a statement. They all wrote statements. They're all down here accusing him of the sexual abuse. Now, what he had them doing was, okay, and I met these people at events. Okay, so respect to them, right? Yeah. I said, like, they're part of CPI. You see how they all have the same shirt on? These
Okay.
are called the John Brown Volunteers. Okay, there's a whole, it's
Against
just
John Brown, who
John Brown, yeah, the guy
the
from the civil,
slave.
yeah,
Yeah.
slave guy, yeah. So what happens is that, they're real psyched about it. I asked them, so what do you do? You know what I mean? And they're like, well, we moved here to be part of CPI, and we sell these buttons, and that's how we're making a living. I said, what? I said, you're selling political buttons? I said, how much do you sell them for? I said, how many do you sell like in an hour? And they're like, we sell for like $5, and we like sell like 2 or 3 a day. I was like, yeah, who's gonna buy a button? Are you serious? I was like, you're
Right.
not gonna make it. And they're like, well, we're hungry and shit, but we're part of the struggle. I said, yo, if you want,
What's on the button, by the way?
they look, now if you look at them, they don't look like like Yankee Tanky's kind of big, Keaton Mansfield kind of big, Lily kind of big, right? They don't look like they skinny. You get what I
Right.
mean? So I didn't they told me the story, but I was like, they look like they look like they eaten to me. Maybe it's all a lie, who knows? Oh, yo, get this, okay. So Kayla, you see this this lady on number 2, by the way, who is also tried to push her into prostitution. Well, one thing is that Caleb Maupin, okay, he's also doing a lot of work in South America, and he actually, right, there was an invite for someone from CPI to go down to Venezuela, right? So actually, he told this girl right here that she should go. But Venezuela is super dangerous, right? I was like,
Yeah, of course.
when they told me that they were planning on going to, they said they were all going to Venezuela. And I said,
Right.
what? I said, a bunch of gringos like you're fucked. I was like, y'all are young as shit. You are targets like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
What? Yo, I know people from Venezuela. That's one of the most violent countries in the world. Yo, my boys have bullet shot wounds in their bodies, multiple of them. You know what I mean? Venezuela's super hot. You don't just go down there and start fucking with the leadership over there. And I think they're actually pro-Venezuela though, right? Yeah, so they were there pushing propaganda. It was just real
Right.
fucking weird. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, I was like, you're gonna get kidnapped. Don't fucking go over there. You know what I mean? I just told them straight up. I said, yo, y'all are young as shit. You know what I mean? Y'all don't look really that hard. You know what I mean? You're a bunch of gringos. Dude, you going to Venezuela? What the fuck are you thinking? Like, if you don't know people over there like that, you better. Do you have anybody? They're like, no, we don't know anybody. I was like, but Caleb wouldn't go because he said that, right? Yeah. He had a job that was paying him, so he couldn't leave because he had a well-paying job.
Oh, of course.
Yo. So they were like trying to live off, and they were staying in the same room in Jersey, paying that New Jersey fare. I was like, yo, you just find some cheap place to live in Manhattan together. You could also do a hostel situation. I know a lot about low cut fucking situations about how to make it without no money. You know what I mean? Or I've been homeless for a good portion of my life. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take care of you. But they believe in Caleb Maupin so much they followed him, even though I got the experience and the know-how, because Caleb Maupin is famous or some shit. Whatever. It's the dumbest shit ever. Anyways. So the thing is that Caleb Maupin and CPI were also involved in a move to actually take control of something called the People's Party. And right now, that's why Nick Brown is trying to rescue them. Because I'm trying to break the link between Nick Brana, fucking Jackson Hinkle, and Caleb Maupin, Daniel Burke, and the whole perverted ass sex freaking community that's going on over there. Because
Right.
you know that eventually, right? Yeah, they keep running in that Hollywood manner. They're gonna get Hollywood results. You know what I mean? Yo, you know about this? Did you see half the board resign on the Nick Brana shit?
Yeah.
And now there's new victims with this Caleb Maupin guy. Someone needs to speak the fuck up. We're gonna see it tonight. They're supposed to be going on live together to support each other. I hope Jimmy Dore shows up. That would be amazing. Stick up for your boy, Jimmy. Stick up for your boys, Jimmy. Are you gonna be responsible for your fucking bullshit that you created? Yo,
He's not gonna show up.
you saw my other video where I'm taking on unfortunately, right, some of the organizers there are from the Jewish community. I'm so sorry to say, but the one where at the Assange thing, where at the Assange thing, Jimmy Dore's setting me up, and the Jews who be running shit over here are running with the Jimmy Dore crowd. I'm so sorry to say, man. What about there? Are there a lot of Jews over there who rock with Jimmy Dore?
You know, I don't go out.
Not
like,
all of them, but the ones in charge do. I'm sorry to say.
Okay. First of all, like I said, I don't go out like you do.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
here in I mean, first of all, I don't live in LA. LA is like an hour and a half away. So I guess in LA there's more stuff. Orange County here, there's nothing, you know.
Sorry,
So
man.
I really don't. If there is, I don't even know about it. It's not like New York, where it's a city and there's all this political activism and that. Here, there's not a lot, and I've kind of backed away from it. You know, I don't know. I don't know. You know, one, I don't trust anybody anymore, and you know, I used to be like part of the Green Party. I don't. I
I
wish
hear you there. I'm with you.
I went. You know, I started doing because I haven't been really active in the Green Party, but I don't know, over 10 years now. And I went to all the places and I couldn't, you know, I went online looking for people. I couldn't find anybody.
Hey, man.
I wish I knew some of those people still. I wish I would have kept in contact, but I didn't.
You know,
'Cause
being in New York
the-
is very lucky because we're just so densely populated. I don't have to take
Yeah.
a car to go somewhere. Like people
Yeah.
just end up at subway stations. Like it just happens. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're just
Well-
so dense here. Yeah.
One little quick thing, like even though I can't stand the Green Party, it's a piece of shit party. The people, the grassroots people were good.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is true, by the way, in all the organizations, not just
Yeah.
right. Even
Yeah.
in the Jimmy Dore community, somewhat right. Yeah, there are people
Yeah.
there who just mean well,
Yeah.
but just don't know about or they're blinded by the leaders into engaging in some kind of stupid war with their
Exactly.
own allies who are saying the same thing on the other side, but they're backing up the right guy.
Right.
People want to have their little drama and
Yeah.
their fun without getting personally involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what happened to me with Green
Get
Party.
him, Jimmy. Get him. Get him.
Yeah.
Get him, Sam.
No,
Get him.
what happened? I was with the Green Party, and I was always down here. Like, actually, I was, even though I live in Orange County, I went to Long Beach. But so once there was this meeting in LA, and there was this guy. He used to be the mayor of Santa Monica, a Green Party member, and I guess this rich woman contributed money to the Green Party,
Yeah.
and it ended up in his pockets, right? And what he did was all the people on the board there, I went to this meeting, they had a vote and they couldn't remove the guy because he put all his cronies on the board. So they would, no matter how corrupt,
Yeah.
so anyhow, about a year ago, I Googled the guy. He's still in the Green Party. He's still there. He hasn't gone anywhere. See, that's the sad thing is the corrupt.
Isn't there
people-
any way to maybe force like a constitutional rewrite or a board?
They couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
And like that's what happens is these corrupt fuckers take, you know, the best of ideas and it always gets, you know.
And people
you have
follow
to
them
have
blindly
some-
because they got the title.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's still there. He's still there.
Oh well, the new batch of suckers. That's why you got to stay and fight, man. Because you could see over here, Nick Brana. You saw that half the board resigned
Right.
because of sexual allegations. That's not because he's innocent. The whole advisory board council has dissolved. Now Caleb Maupin's going down. They're going to try to blame this on some type of freaking CIA conspiracy. But the fact of the matter is that Caleb Maupin already admitted to the spanking shit. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yo, it's just too twisted, bro. You know what I mean? And he's actually like in a true evangelical, he was known about railing against the degenerate left. He's been all moralizing and shit. It's always them kind, right? Yeah, the Jimmy Bakers of the world, the Jimmy Swaggarts right there, proselytizing like, oh, we should be all prim and proper. Meanwhile, he's starving his members and getting spanked, like telling them to discipline him and give him like, inspirational fucking messages.
That's how it works. Yep.
He's a twisted boy.
Yep.
And he's Jimmy's boy. He's sending his lieutenant knight, fucking Nick Brana, the sexual molester himself, to come and save him tonight. That's gonna happen in 20 minutes. I can't wait. I'm very excited. I hope someone else jumps in. I told her the UPA, Mark Mixon. I emailed a lot of people telling about what's going on right here, and unfortunately, they are.
Maybe I'm scaring them away.
Nah, it's not you, bro. I'm just not really that watched, man. Let's tell you.
Right.
I'm gonna check the YouTube right now. Check for yourself, man. Before it was that person thought you were Mexican. I'm gonna check right now. Yeah. Let me see. I should put in the chat. He's not Mexican. The UPA. Oh, he's put some more stuff. Okay. Yeah, Caleb was involved. I emailed a lot of people telling about he is not Mexican. There you go. Now he knows. And unfortunately, Caleb was involved.
Maybe I'm scaring them away.
The Supreme Leader of Iran. I'm just not really that watched, man. He got to be in the same room with the Supreme Leader of Iran. What do you think of that? Check for yourself, man. Before it was that person thought you were Mexican.
Caleb?
Yeah. I'm gonna check right now. Yeah. Let me see. I should put in the chat. He's not Mexican. We need critical thinking. What do you even know, bro? More stuff. I got some things. Yeah, Caleb was involved. I emailed a lot of people telling about he is not Mexican. There you go. Now he knows. And unfortunately, Caleb was involved. We need critical thinking as a Jimmy Dore fan, so you got to pardon him. Supreme Leader of Iran. It's not really that watched, man. He got to be in the same room with the Supreme Leader. I'm sorry, I had the video feed running. So okay, he got to be in the same room with the Supreme Leader of Iran. Okay, for humanitarian aid. Okay, that's nice. What do you know about what I've done in terms of humanitarian aid? I have a long history of that. This is hilarious. And how do you know who I've been next to? I could dropping some names though. One person. Oh, are you still here, Alan? Oh, Alan's in the thing. One person that you know that I was with was this group called. You ever heard of Bobby Seale from the Black Panthers? Yeah. I might have speak when I was in college and shit, and he did, yeah. So I could tell you about what he said, but you made a lot of assumptions, man. And you don't think I've done humanitarian work in Grenada, right, in another country as well. So, which by the way is the site of the only non-violent socialist revolution in recorded history, supposedly. And you could look that up. So what do you really why do you think that Caleb knows so much more than we need than me? We need critical thinking. Is it because of the way that I look? Is it because Asian American men can't be activists? You dreaming, bro. Yo, I done a lot, bro, and I'm just telling you some of it right now. We need critical thinking. Yeah, you need to critically look at before you make it. Yo, I have a 30-year background in activism, bro. You think that you could pull a world leader on me? I got world leaders too, man. You know what I mean? And you think you could pull what's the other one you're trying to use on me? I'm a son of American imperialism, just like.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, we need critical thinking. He wrote some comments in the he's trying to say Caleb's more legit than me. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got pissed off by that. Yeah. Oh, we need critical thinking says you look Mexican. I am in the great California, a border state. Okay, so the TMZ wannabe channel, good times. Okay, he says I'm the wannabe TMZ channel. I guess. Okay. Do you see the chat right there? I'm in the YouTube chat. It's okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you see me?
Yeah, I could see you.
Because I was off for a few minutes there. Do you notice that?
Is there like a reverb?
I don't know what happened. It was weird.
Oh, you dropped out for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes that happens. Maybe it was your connection or something. Who knows? Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you hit a button.
Yeah, I think so.
Who knows? Yeah. Maybe escape or something. Yeah. The TMZ wannabe channel. Okay, either way, man. Yo, I still think look, he's sympathetic to Caleb, and I get it, right? Caleb is his boy, and if I knew someone personally, right, if it was happening to you, I'd feel bad for you. So I get it. He's a fan of Caleb. He's sorry to see his boy embarrassed. And you know, I applaud you for that. You know, I mean, you're a good friend, so I respect that. Yeah, should I really be dancing on Caleb Maupin's loss of dignity? It's not really the cool thing I'm doing it, but I'm gonna calm down because you know you have a point there. We need critical thinking, so I ain't mad at you, but I do want to be critical of the things that happened in this organization we're about to tune in. That's gonna happen 15 minutes. Let me go and check that out right now. Actually, I'm excited. I invited Yankee Tanky. None of the protests are recent. Okay, whatever. Okay, Yankee Tanky saying, I'm on a blackout. I'm blackballed in the industry. So the thing is that, right, a lot of these producers are scared to come on my program. Yankee Tanky, he used to, I showed you Yankee Tanky earlier, right?
I don't
Remember,
know.
remember I was showing you the screenshots of the people who are affiliated with CPI?
You probably, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
I
did.
invited him to come on tonight, but I don't think he's gonna show up.
I don't remember shit, man.
It's all good. It's all good. It's just drama, bro. Yeah, it's just water. Thank God. Some water, man. It's all good. Oh well.
Ah,
So what's up, man? Yeah, it's about to kick off. I think in like 15 minutes. So, you want to check that out too? Want to hang out for that one? It's up to you. Either way. Caleb.
you know what? Is it okay if I like check out and then maybe I can come back?
Yeah. Well, if you want to jump in, yeah. The Zoom link will stay the same. I'm just gonna leave the Zoom link up.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking I could even like
It's going down in 14 minutes. I'll share the screen. Yeah. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Actually, probably closer to the time, and maybe even right now, I'm gonna restart the recording and start streaming it with a new title saying, commentary on the Caleb chats with Nick Brana. You know, what I mean, actually, I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna
okay.
stop.
Wait, hold
the,
on.